Wind and Thunder Radio, Thunder Hands here. This is the third in a series on the martial arts or the fighting arts. Last time, I'll just continue right on. Last time I was talking about the hands and the different movements you can make. And if you want to review it, there's 2 videos before this, so you should do that first. Or you can just watch this one and then go back. When I was talking about the iron pipe and all that stuff, I also wanted to mention the elbow, okay, which is very important, very hard, very bony. So if somebody throws a punch, say at you, you come over the top and turn your back. In other words, you come over their punch and turn sideways and then come back into their face with an elbow. Boom. Like that. Fast. Turn, boom, right into the face. So you can use your elbows up, coming up to the solar plexus or across. You can come across this way. And when you get in close, when you take their center, like I said, when you're in their center and you're turned around, you come back with your elbow. You can come back any number of places with the elbow. Okay, and the elbow is an excellent weapon. Okay, and when you have them bent over, you can use the elbow to the face, and then you can wrap your arm around them if they're bent over, up under their neck, around their head, and pull up. Of course, that's going to cause some severe damage. So let's jump into, I wanted to finish off on the upper, and I'll get back to that, because there's a shoulder, there's all kinds of things, but I just can't cover it all. I'm just going to jump around here and be artful and talk about the knees, and you'll have to imagine this, because I tried backing off the camera and I just can't get the full body like I want to, so you'll have to imagine it. But when you use your knees and your legs, the weapons there are like the ball of the foot, okay? So when you kick, we'll use the hand. When you kick, your toes can be up, and you're snap kicking in with the ball of your foot, okay? Extended. Toes bent back slightly, okay? So you bring your knee up, okay, and you're on one leg. Let's say you're going to kick with your right leg. You stand on the left leg with it slightly bent and in a blocking position. Bring your foot up next to your kneecap, okay? And then point your knee, okay, wherever you want it to go. If you want a snap kick to the groin, you point your knee right at that person's groin. And then you extend out, you snap kick with the ball of your foot, okay, to the groin. Now, another way to do that, which is more devastating even, is with the shin. So you do you go through the same motion, or you just kind of step into them and you do what I call, okay, we talked about the compression kick and the snap kick. You do what I call the punt, the football punt kick. Like a guy's kicking a football, punting a football. Have you ever seen that at a football game? And you bring your leg up, your shin up, like you're punting a football, only your shin, it comes up between the leg and connects with the groin, shall we say, in a very solid way. That's devastating, okay? Your leg is basically straight when you do a punt kick type thing. You just kind of swing it up with your shin right into their groin. So that's one of the ways of kicking. And some people don't understand the compression kick. When I'm talking about a compression kick, now this is not the punt kick. This is the compression kick. I'm talking about almost like a stomp, okay? Like you're stomping out whatever. You're stomping on an aluminum can or whatever. You're trying to stomp it flat. Well, that would be the same motion that you would use in a compression kick. And you do it to the side, keeping your balance, keep keeping your top part of your body this way, but extending with your leg this way, and keeping them in balance on the leg that you're standing on. So you tilt to the side and you do a compression kick, which is like stomping on an aluminum can, only you do that to their leg, their knee, or if they're laying on the ground, you just stomp on their knee, which I said before brings them up if they're on their back. So those are some ways that you can use your legs. Now the knee, it's obvious. I mean, if you're close enough, you're in close and personal, like I said, you take their center and you get it right in between their legs. You bring your knee up quickly to the groin. And of course, that's going to bend them over, like the autonomic reaction thing. They're going to go, oh, and they're going to bend over. Okay? And once they've bent over, what's right in front of you? Their head, right? So you do the comb grab that I talked about before, and and then place your hand on their chin and just, like comb grab and chin, and just twist it. Okay? You pull the chin one way and you're pushing the hair the other. So it's a neck snap. Okay? It's over. So basically, in 2 moves, you've gotten them, with the knee to the groin. Maybe 3 moves, you might have had to step aside a little or whatever to miss their punch or come over. There's another way to get them to bend over, and that's when they throw a punch, you grab it. It's called sticky hands. And instead of letting, when you do a windmill to knock their hand out of the way, this time you grab onto their hand as you're doing the windmill. It's called sticky hands, and you slide right up to their wrist, and you execute what I call a joint lock. And you bring it into your waist and you bend them over. Okay? And they're like bent over. Well, then you just do that punt kick straight up. They're bent over right in front of you with their face right in front of you, their head in front of you. You do that punt kick straight up into their throat. Simple. And it happens so quick they don't know what hit them. Like I say, you have to think of all these things as a Rubik's Cube, as a combination of different moves that you can do, depending on the situation. You go with the flow. You adapt to the situation. Okay, you're in control at all times. You have to be in control at all times. You can't lose control of the situation. And you do it quickly and you do it sequentially. Okay, one move right after the other. Moving into the center, for example, moving into the center, bringing up the knee. That brings them over autonomically into a bent over position, grabbing their hair, putting your hand underneath their chin, rotating like I said. Now, if you really don't want to take them out, then when they're bent over, you can just move in and wrap your right foot around their left foot and sweep your foot back. Okay? Which will take them right off that left leg that they're on. And at the same time you're sweeping it back, you can just push down on their shoulders and they'll bounce their ass right into the ground. And then probably bounce back and hit their head. So the thing is that you want to almost ensure that they bounce back and hit their head. In other words, you want to make sure that you sweep them or push them so hard that when they fall on their ass, the momentum still carries them back and they smack their head on whatever. Again, I know this sounds brutal, but this is what the Special Forces use. This is how you do it. Okay? Now, another thing that you can do when they're bent over is, like I said, you can come up and you can grab their hair. Their head's right in front of you. Grab their hair and do a comb grab on the right side of their head and come up on their left side underneath their throat, okay? And you can twist either way. Reinforce the hair grab or do 2 hair grabs, and then just throw it down on the ground, push as hard as you can on a 45-degree angle when they're bent over. If you always push down on a 45-degree angle, they're going to go down. You don't want to push straight back because they'll just stumble back. You want to push 45-degree angle down into the ground so that they will make sure that they hit the ground hard. So you use all these things in a combination. You have all these different moves in your mind. And there's what I call the basic 45, and then it goes on to 45 more, and 45 more, and 45 more combinations. Okay, and then you make up your own combinations, and then you'll make up your own style incorporating all the different arts. That's what I did. Okay. And I incorporated that move, which I call a snake move, which is, you could also call it a bullwhip snap, because when you snap into somebody, you don't have to use your whole body, although you can. And that's another point I want to make. When you're coming down on their radial nerve, like I said in my other video with the iron pipe, and you're coming down, boom, it hurts. But if you drop your weight when you're coming down, like center yourself and drop your weight into a horse stance as you're coming down on their arm, the combination of your weight and the swing of your arm intensifies it 3, 4, 5 times. It'll knock them right down on the ground just hitting their arm. So these are just some techniques that I'm explaining here, and at some point I might show some illustrations. And then another thing that I didn't talk about is the open hand too. The open hand is just opening your hand and just coming in like boom to the throat here. Just an open hand, open hand. I wanted to clarify on that leverage too on the face. It's like, you're twisting like that. You're coming to one side of the nose and going to the other side of the forehead, so that when you twist your hand, okay, I just wanted to make that clear from the last video because I don't think some people got it. I reviewed it and I thought, well, that could be a little bit more clear. Okay. Now the other thing is I talked about grabbing clothing. You can grab clothing and take bunches of it and pull the person around. So let's say somebody throws a right punch at you, and you come in with your right and you block it but move to their outside, right? In other words, you're just kind of bypassing them. You're twisting and you're blocking their punch, or you're just deflecting their punch, and your hand moves right up to their right shoulder. After you deflect the punch, it just kind of moves right up like a snake, sticky hands, grabs that clothing and snaps it around, okay, it makes it so their back is turned to you at that point, but they're still standing. So you just turn to the side and come down with that compression or stomp kick to the back of their knee, okay, behind their knee. Well, that brings them right down to their knee or both knees. Then where are they? Well, you got them by the shoulder and you compression kicked behind the knee and they're on their knees. So you just move in behind them and you can do the neck snap or the hair grab or come down with a shoe toe because their back's to you, okay? Or you can just turn around and do another compression kick to their back. I know this sounds brutal, and it is, but these are, again, like I said in my first video, we're assuming that this is almost like a life or death situation. You can't assume that because you hit a guy it's over. You got to follow through with about 3, 4, 5 moves. It's just the way it is. Otherwise, you're taking a chance. You might just piss the guy off. Excuse me. No, you got to keep going. There's that little deal again. Isn't that wonderful? The computer going into sleep mode. No, but you have to follow through. It's called the follow through. And if you don't want to take the person out, once you get control of them, you get them down on the ground and you do a pin on them. You bring their arm up behind their back and you put your other arm right by the shoulder blade and armpit and pin them to the ground. So they're not moving, they're saying uncle. Okay? But you can never, once you get into a situation like this, you can't assume, don't make an ass out of yourself. You can't assume that they're going to just give up. You got to be in control. But if you do it right, the first couple of moves is pretty much over. There's no giving up, or there's no more fighting on them. If you do it right, they're either, if you go to the throat, they're either choking, and turning blue in the face, gasping for breath, or if you go to the carotid, that's dangerous. That could kill them. But it will knock them out for sure. Just like a straight punch to the nose will cause the eyes to water, naturally. That'll blind a person. So that straight punch, and then this section right in here, that's an acupuncture point. It's pretty lethal. Let's put it that way. And there's several on the body, that you can go to that are connected to the heart. In the arm, places where you can stun them so bad that it'll actually interfere with their heart. Now let me just say that in my first video I said the first thing, because people get freaked out about, oh my God, is you walk away from this stuff so that you never have to go through this stuff. This is just stuff in case somebody's like on your ass and you have to defend your wife or yourself or your children or whatever, or you have to take a gun away like I covered in the other videos, or a knife, and you have to end the situation quickly. That's why this sounds brutal, and it is. Because we don't want things going on all day here. Okay? Not when it concerns your life. And the thing is that you try to walk away, the sword of no sword, but that isn't always going to happen. That's not the reality of situations sometimes. It's better to walk away. Sun Tzu's Art of War even says the first principle is no war, avoiding war. And that's a war with a person. So I don't want people to think that I'm just, I learned the mechanics, and if you review the first video, you'll see where I learned them and how I learned them and the whole deal. You can't just look at one video and go, oh my God. You got to go to the first video and go through my explanation and listen to what I have to say about harm or not harming and all that stuff. Okay, so where was I here? Well, we pretty much covered we covered a lot. Just wanted to cover the sweep too. The sweep meaning you sweep somebody off their feet. Not romantically, although you can do that too if you want. But once you get to their side, let's say they throw a right punch and you block it and you step to their side and you grab their shoulder like I said, you can just put your foot out behind theirs straight and sweep it back, catching their calf or their heel or their ankle, and throwing your arm that's got their shoulder down to the ground at the same time, which will throw them on the ground. There's several ways to sweep somebody, but it involves getting one of your legs behind theirs, And you can even do it face to face, you know, where you come in and you curl one of your legs like around your right leg around their left leg and just kick your leg back, almost grabbing their leg and using your hands to, again, come down at a 45 push. There's a lot of things you can, a lot of ways you can sweep, okay? So that's one of the tools that you have at your disposal is sweeping. So we got punching and kicking, and we got elbowing, and we got hair grabs, and we got eye pokes, which I covered with the hand. We've got the shuto hand. We've got all kinds of techniques and natural weapons at our disposal. We're a walking worst nightmare for them if we want to be. Or you could just vibe them away. Let's talk about that a little bit more. It's like when you're sitting at a coffee shop and you know somebody's staring at the back of your head or staring at you, you feel it. Or if you stare right directly at somebody, unless they're just totally, a lot of people are just totally brain dead. I mean, they won't feel somebody looking at them. They're like, oh, they're into their iPod or whatever. But if they see you and you make eye contact, or even if you just send out that energy like, you know, I don't want you here anymore, or it's time for you to leave. A lot of times on that psychic level, they'll pick up on it. Just like you'd pick up on, like, I don't feel comfortable here, or I don't feel comfortable in this room, and I want to get out. That's because you feel a certain kind of energy or chi. And when that chi is projected at you, or you project it at somebody else, or you're walking down the street and you project it, and you always want to project sheer confidence and that feeling of, like I said about the samurai, they already consider themselves dead. They don't have anything to worry about. They go into battle and they don't hesitate. And when you look at that other person like, you know, you're look them right in the face and go, hey, how's it going? Or whatever. That's what you do. You don't, you know, look the other way, or, oh, put your head down, or I don't want to look at that person, or I'm afraid, or whatever. No, you look them right in the eye, right in the friggin' eye. Say, hey, how's it going? Let them know right off the bat that you're aware of them, and that you know, your energy is ready for anything, and that you don't have any fear, because it's fear that they feel, the predator. They work off of that, just like the government works off of that, and they do it in a subliminal mind programming or deprogramming or whatever. They use it in all kinds of ways. You know, I was just gonna mention, because I'm almost through with this video, and I don't know how many of these I'll make, but review the first 3 and see what you get out of that. I'll decide if I'm going to do any more right now. I just wanted to mention, though, there's a blood moon today. What's today's date? Let me see. Let me look down here. 9th. Last night was the lunar eclipse, I do believe, in the blood moon, which comes in a series of 3 or something. Man, did it feel weird today. I don't know if you guys felt it. Unless you're aware, you're probably not going to feel it. But most people that I talk to, just going out on the street and to the store, everything was like deadly quiet. Everything was just felt this weird, eerie, I don't know, you know, they say the moon pulls on all the water in your body, or something's going on, you know. It's like, oh my God, this feels like earthquake weather or something. It was a real different feeling. And I don't know how long this is going to last. This is supposed to be some kind of portent or omen. Could be. The way it felt today. Whew. It's amazing what the cosmos can do. You know, and this Blood Moon series. I don't really know too much about it. I probably should look into it more. But I do know this, is that it only comes once in a great while, and in a great while, and to have 3 of them in a row, and we've had like 2 or 3, what they call blood moons. Positioning of the moon in a certain area, you know. It's something you can feel. I mean, I'm a sensitive person, and if I walk out and I feel like, woo, something feels uncanny today, you could be ready for anything. And I noticed people were off balance. I almost got run over 3 times by some idiot coming out a door or coming out of a driveway, or just totally, ding dong. Because it will knock you off balance, you know, the lunar eclipses and stuff like that. Might even drive you a little crazy or depress you or whatever. It's almost like a new beginning. Okay. So who knows what's going to happen in the world. I don't even want to look at anything that has to do with headlines or anything today. Well, I hope you people are enjoying this series that I did so far, 3 trilogy. I guess I should leave it there for now. If you go through the last 3 videos, you're going to have a sense of the fighting arts that you never had before. You're going to be looking at it totally different. And I said I would get into some energy exercises, so that's what I'll do next. I might do a trilogy of energy exercises for the trilogy of the fighting arts, or to just be applied without that. That's what I'm all about. So I hope you're enjoying it, and believe me, if you went and tried to like get special forces training or this kind of training, you ain't gonna find it too many places without paying. Okay, without going to a special school. And you're going to pay, or if you get a CD or video, you're going to pay. So consequently, up here, if you want to donate, here's a little link, and I'll try to get it in here where I'm pointing. CAMPFIRECouncil.com. And there's a donate button there with PayPal. If you think this is worth anything to you and you want to donate something to me for taking the time to show you, then awesome. I'd appreciate it. And you'll appreciate knowing this stuff. It's a trade, you know. It's a trade-off. Get on the mailing list too. You can call me if you want to hook up with me. Well, you can email me, and then, you know, we take it from there. But I just hope you're enjoying it. And if you do, I mean, I got a little salty yesterday. I was like, come on, people, share this shit. People need to hear this stuff so that they can be ready for whatever situation arises. Okay? Or they at least, even if they can't do the stuff I'm talking about, they know it exists, and they know that what they might be up against, and they might decide they want to, you know, investigate further into some of the arts that I have practiced. So it's a good thing, you know. It's a good thing. I mean, you have to look at the yin and yang of it. Of course, some of this stuff is brutal, but on the other hand, it can save your life and give you confidence. And follow up that with the Qigong and some of the yoga things that I'm going to teach you. Hopefully here. I wish I had a full on, you know, so I could just stand up before the camera. I can't really do that because number one, my mic cord's not long enough, so I couldn't talk. And you just can't see the whole, you know, the whole structure, the whole body, everything you need to see to do these things. But I might do a supplemental video. I'll think about it. It's kind of hard to do some of this stuff now with the software I have, but where you can see some of the drawings of different stances and things of that nature, I might make up a little book. Who knows? I might make up a little series or a little CD thing that you can order for like $5 or $10 or something, and you can see all the moves that I talk about on these videos. So anyway, I'm going to leave it there today and just kind of dig this blood moon thing. I don't know what's going on, but it feels eerie. And then there's a big, huge typhoon. I don't know what's going on with that, but it was heading right towards Japan, the second one in a row, which makes you wonder. There was a 5-point, Category 5 hurricane typhoon. Supposedly it was supposed to hit cold water and lessen a little. Let's hope for the people of Japan it did, or is. So this stuff is all related, believe me. The pull of the moons and the tides and the winds on the earth and just the whole thing, There is a wind a-blowing. I don't know if it's an ill wind or just a change wind, but there's something in the air, people. So anyway, this is Thunder. I think I'll leave it there today and say blessings to you all from Great Spirit and myself and through myself. And just be diligent, endure, show love to your fellow man, and hopefully you'll never have to use these techniques that I teach you. It's only the ones that are out there, and we know they're out there, that have hearts of darkness. We want hearts that walk the red road, right? So I'll just say that for now. Walk the red road and adios. This is Thunder. We'll see you later.